I gotta turn this. There. That's a little better. I don't know. That's weird. I don't know. I'm not. Hold on. I'm not happy with that. Give me a minute, and I'm gonna get this fixed. It keeps turning. Come on. There we go. Okay, that works. I know. See, I have to look at myself. Okay, so it was all askew. So, good evening, everyone. We got JJ's in the house. Mary Taylor's here. Dale from Ohio. Delbert Jones. Bobby Farron. Gregory Martinez. Beads and Beans. Alex is in the house. Unbelievably hot day here. Unbelievably hot. And I spent the day riding a lawnmower. So I did not finish, but I did the entire upper meadow was done, and most of the lower meadows done. Yeah, I did a video on everything, and I'll show you tomorrow. But I rode that lawnmower for about 4 hours, and I was just done. I was like, okay, that's enough. I'm like, I can finish tomorrow. I was just like, and, and of course, when do I start, right? When did I start? About 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So, yeah, I think we hit 94 today here. So right in the heat of the day, but I working on my tan. So, and it's so funny. I got to tell you guys. So when I cut the grass, Hella, like when I was in the upper meadow, okay, Hella will sit at the top of the hill in the shade, and she'll just watch me the entire time. I don't care how long I'm up there. She will be there the entire time. And that's actually pretty cool. That's, you know, um, she's an awesome dog. No, I do not have the AC working. I haven't even looked at anything. I just been taking care of other stuff and not even messing with it at all. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna, like I said, it's been warm. So I know I do have to get that fixed. I can deal with it now. Like I got the fan blowing on me, so that actually feels pretty good. But yeah, thanks for answering the question. I was just gonna ask if the AC control. Yeah, it's when we got that lightning strike, not only did it fry the charge controller inverter, apparently it fried the thermostat here as well. So, but that's yeah, that's just good times, good times. But so anyway, just trying to get things done and get things taken care of. What is this thing doing? Oh, okay. All right. All right. Close that. All right. Ultimately, what is that? Something was on there. All right. So anyway, uh, obviously we know now. Obviously we hit Iran. Iran has retaliated, and I love how they did it, guys. And if it happened the way that they say it happened, which who knows, right? We're getting fed what we're getting fed, but they hit a base in Qatar, away from a population center. What was it? Other eye. Like that was. It was away from a population center. Nobody was killed, and supposedly Trump said that they were warned about it ahead of time. So basically, it was a safe base thing from Iran, and so who knows? But I don't know if you guys just saw. There is actually breaking news. Um, Iran and Israel have agreed to a complete ceasefire. I don't know if you guys saw that. I mean, it was just in the last hour that was announced. So if that's the case, that's a good thing. But yeah, they had to react so they don't look weak. That's all. Exactly, exactly. So if that's going to be it, that's going to be it. Hopefully, and again, with Israel and Iran agreeing to a ceasefire, that's also a good thing. So, you know, you had, I'm torn. I'm torn. I got to tell you, I'm torn. I don't. They fired 14 missiles, 13 were brought down, and one was a dud. Okay, well, I guess they said they fired as many as we did. I think that's what they said. But anyway, this whole thing is like a double edged sword for me. Okay, I don't like the fact that we went in and did this in Iran. I don't like that, but I don't have the intel that they have now. If Iran was very close to being able to go nuclear, they were not going to allow. And we have 9 brand new German Shepherd puppies born June 20th. Beautiful. Oh, that's awesome. Very, very cool. Yeah, they are. They're awesome. They're a great breed. Such a great breed. Uh, so anyway, like I said, I don't have the intel, so I don't know how close they were. We can't allow them to do it, and maybe that's what this was about. I don't know. None of us will ever really know the full story, right? I mean, I'm going to always go back to weapons of mass destruction. We have to go in to Iraq and do this because they have these weapons of mass destruction when they never found anything. So I'm very skeptical. Okay, when both Iran and Israel were shocked about the ceasefire. Well, if they agreed to it, did they agree to it? But anyway, so that's what I just saw, that they had agreed to a ceasefire. We'll see if that holds. Alex said Ed Iran was days away from getting a nuclear bomb. Well, if that was the case, then they did what they had to do, and that's it. That's it. So I mean, again, um, it's been very interesting watching the whole dynamics. So, like I said, I don't have all the information. Yeah, according to Trump, they did. And again, who knows if it's the truth? Who knows if it's not the truth? I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't like us getting involved in other crap all the time. I'm tired of the U.S. being the modern day Rome and being the policeman of the world. Now, I understand if, let's go with a speculation. Okay, we're going to speculate here for a minute. If Iran was that close to getting a nuclear bomb, we obviously cannot allow that to happen. Can't allow it to happen because they wouldn't attack us, they would attack Israel. And, we can't have that either. And Israel's not going to allow them to do anything, you know what I mean? So it just, it was a matter of time. That was going to be something that was a matter of time no matter what. So, but it shows, okay, so now we're going to look at it. So if that was the case, I get why we did what we did. But gas went from $2.49 to $2.89 a gallon. Well, the thing is, if they have agreed to a ceasefire, and if, it's a big if, right? And if Iran doesn't block the Strait of Hormuz, then, maybe things will come back to sanity. I don't know. We'll have to see. But, yeah, they've been saying days away since the 90s. Exactly. So who knows what the truth is. And, like I said, I don't know, guys. I mean, I'm like the rest of us. I don't like the whole situation, but Iranians do not have the right temperament to possess nuclear weapons. It's funny, if you look back, I mean, if you're older and you've been there, in the 70s, Iran was very modern, very, very modern. They were Western clothing, a lot of Western views and all that type of stuff. And then, the lunatics took over and getting up to 100-degree temps this week, weekend East Coast. Well, like I said, we were at 94 today. I'll tell you what they're calling for. Let's see. I'll tell you in a second what they're calling for. Man, I think we're only going down into the high 60s tonight. Now it's going to take its time loading. So as soon as that loads, I'll take a look at that. But Oh, here we go. Yeah, right now it's still saying it's 89 degrees. We're looking at 94 tomorrow, 91 on Wednesday, 89 on Thursday, 87 Friday, and then we're 84. But, high 60s for nighttime temperatures. Not fun. Not fun. But what are you going to do? Just got to deal with it like everything else. But, you know, um, again, I don't want us to be the policemen of the world. We know what happened to Rome. Rome crumbled from within. The obvious, right? These things could happen with us as well. I mean, there's a lot of infighting garbage that's going on here right now. Very hot here now, 97 in Chicago. Wow, yeah, that's warm. Village Homestead in upstate New York's at 97. Yeah, it's hot. I think Philly set a record. Maybe I think they hit 99 today. So crazy temperatures. It is what it is. We got to deal with it. Um, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna laugh at myself when I say it. You want to get up early before it gets too hot and do something. And what did I do today? At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I jumped on the lawnmower and cut grass for 4 hours. So I am not a morning person. I've never been a morning person. I never will be a morning person. Now, I've had to, in my career, get up and do day shift, but that was business. If it's not business, I'm not about it. I am not about it. So, uh, I like to, I'm a night bird. The other night, I was up to 6 in the morning. I just was like, and I remember saying to myself, what are you doing, stupid? It wasn't like I was doing anything wonderful. So, but anyway, so if everything they're saying is true, if Israel and Iran have now done a peace, a ceasefire, that would be great. They took care of what they wanted to take care of, obviously, stopping them from getting a nuclear bomb. And here's what I think is interesting: those bunker busters. Those things are 30,000 pounds. How the heck do you sleep in that heat? I sweat a lot, JJ, in this heat when I'm trying to sleep. I'll wake up and my bed will be soaked with sweat. And that's with a fan blowing on me right off the whole time. So, yeah, good times. Good times. But those bombs are 30,000 pounds, okay? 24,000 pounds of that is steel. Only 6,000 pounds is explosives. So when they go in, they'll go 200 feet deep. And I guess what they ended up doing is they just dropped like 6 of them, one after the other. They came in, dropped one, and as soon as that one was gone, then the next one hit. So they went down, 1,200 feet, and did what they had to do. So $3.5 million each. Wow, yeah, that's expensive. Those are expensive toys. Now I will say this: doing what Trump did in this thing, it gives the rest of the world pause, right? They want everyone in fear. It's a psychological thing. Keep everyone in fear, but don't let the big event happen. Yeah, I don't know. They do. I do agree that they want to keep us all in fear all the time. They want us upset. They want us stressed out. I do agree with that. But as far as I think the big event is going to happen at some point in time. No, it was not an inexpensive operation for sure. Yeah, when you're talking, it's that was definitely not a cheap operation. But like I said again, what it also does, it gives the rest of the world pause. This dude is not screwing around. And here's something I want to think. So everybody's losing their mind, right? Everybody, oh my God, Trump bombed Iran. Trump bombed Iran. Look at all the last presidents we had, especially Obama. Obama bombed everybody. Lebanon, Syria, you name it. Over there in the Middle East, he bombed everybody except for Iran. Okay. Bush bombed people. Clinton bombed people. So it's not like this is, oh my God, this never happened with the presidency before. But my gasoline in Central Ohio, in Central Ohio State, steady overnight at 318. Yeah, we'll see what happens now. I mean, if they, like I said, if everything in Wyoming, they got several inches of snow yesterday. That's crazy. That's crazy. We'll see if this ceasefire is true, which I hope it is. Things can go back to normal. Again, like one of the things I think people fail to realize, like people like Kim Jong-un, right, in North Korea, they want to stay in power. The Ayatollah, or whatever he is, he wants to stay in power. Trump dropped 36 and Obama dropped 26,000. Yeah, Obama was bombing the crap out of a lot of people. A lot of people. But I don't know exactly if that's but yeah, he definitely, he did a lot of drone strikes. So, but yeah, it's just craziness, that's for sure. Anyway, it projects strength, which is a good thing. We've come off of a presidency that was a disaster, an absolute disaster. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, the guy couldn't get out of his own way. They propped him up like Weekend at Bernie's for 4 years, So don't forget what Trump did in his first time. He authorized the use of the Moab. Yes. Yep. And I think they did that one just to see if it would work. The mother of all bombs. But this one here was different. This is an upgrade, and definitely an upgrade. But, like I said, we don't know. Where's the cats? They're chilling now. They were just playing hard. They're right there on the ground sleeping. It's been hot for them. It's been hot for everybody. But they're playing hard, still doing their thing. Oh yeah, the whole thing is a circus show. Yeah, you got that right. Again, I will say what I always say. Control what you can control. Know what you can do. Work towards your goals. Do what you can. Prep as much as you possibly can. I think that's really important because we never know. And that's a fact, I don't think Biden was even present for his presidency. Yeah, I don't think he was running the show at all. Evil Girl 87, hi Ed, love what you're doing with your property. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. How do I keep my new 11-month-old puppy from panicking during fireworks? Luke, best thing you could possibly do is take the dog out somewhere with a 22, have him sit next to you, fire a shot, get him used to that sound. And then they get used to it, it's not that big of a deal. If it's something that they're not expecting or seeing, it could be very traumatic for them. What do you think of China invading Taiwan in 2025? I don't think that's going to happen yet, Alex, because China's not ready. China's getting ready. China's been getting ready for a long time. They are in at the rate, and I want you guys to look at this, okay? I want you guys to look at this, because don't take my word for it. At the rate China's building ships, okay, and getting them in the water, we're decommissioning ships. That's what we're doing. Now, our Navy's still very strong, don't get me wrong, but China is trying to be stronger. And once they make the jump, when they make the jump, they know that they're going to be at war with us. And so, they're doing what they want at the moment to get ready. I don't think you'll see during Trump's presidency uh, China making a move. Not during Trump's presidency. There she is. You can see her, baby. You got your little motor running. You got your little motor running. Yeah. But have you seen the underwater drones we have? I have not seen that. No. Look at her. She is so freaking cute. Here, I'll put you back up here. Right there. Okay. So anyhow, but yeah, it's just again, Trump scares people, okay? Because Trump it don't play, and that's China only has 2 aircraft carriers. We have 11. I get that, Larry, but they have been building, building, building. So, and like I said, check it out. Don't take my word for it. Go look at the rate that they're building ships compared to the rate that we're building ships. Trump could be waiting for the Gerald Ford Navy ship to be in the Middle East, departing this week. Yeah, who knows? I like I said, I'm always hopeful that cooler heads will prevail. Like I said, Iran knows that if they mess with us, they're going to lose. They already know that. So again, the people in power want to stay in power. So they're going to play the game and they're going to grandstand and beat their chest and talk all the talk. But at the end of the day, I think you're going to have I mean, do I believe? My mind goes all over the place. So I'm just want to. Do I believe that they have sleeper cells in the U.S.? Absolutely yes, and not just Iranian sleeper cells from other countries as well that don't like us very much. They're here. They have been able to get in here very easily, especially this last administration. Okay, and the reality is, if somebody wants to get in bad enough, they're going to get in. Okay, they're going to get in. So it's just it's a whole different thing. But now you have, and again, this is something else that I'll never get. That people are mad that we're getting rid of the criminal people that came over here illegally. So the sleeper cells are the Democratic Party. Oh my. Okay, so I got to mention this because I'm like, could this woman beat her own chest anymore? Okay, and why I don't. This is what I don't get. Why does it always have to be about race? Always. And I'm talking about Crockett from Texas, okay? She's like, they're just not used to a strong black woman and blah, blah, blah. She just, she's a joke. It just, I don't know. I don't get these people, the way that they act. And when I say these people, a lot of times it's the Democrats, you know. And every time you turn around, it's always about race. Why can't we just be Americans? Hey, there's a concept. Like when people ask me, you know, I'm an American. That's what I am. They go like, well, no, I know, but what's your ethnicity? And I said, well, I'm varied. So I'm a true American because I got a bunch of different things. Did you see her teeth? She makes all that money and has crooked teeth. I really didn't. I tried not to pay attention to her. I was watching a snippet of something that she was talking about. And like I said, they try to toot their own horns and tell you how wonderful they are and all that good stuff. What are you doing? Her motor is going big time right now. Yeah, be a good girl. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, AOC. Oh my God, AOC is just that's another whole kettle of fish. Another whole kettle of fish. So crazy stuff, guys. Just absolutely crazy stuff. But that's politics. It's never going to change. Well, like the one, who's the one? She's like, she's got. I don't even know how old she is, but she always has blue hair. I just, I personally, no, no, no. Um, I don't get it. Okay, you want to have blue or purple or green or yellow or whatever hair you're trying to do. Okay, but you're in Congress and you're walking around with blue hair and you're probably in your 60s or 70s. Come on, you know. I don't get it. I just don't get it. To each their own, but everything's a show and they got us right where they want us. Yeah, they're all. Well, a lot of it. I feel is pay attention to me. Look at me. I'm important, and it's just like just do your job. If you do your job, I mean, I'm going to tell you what. Now, in New York, we had Louise Slaughter forever and a day. Okay, ever and Louise Slaughter got in there, and she died in office. I mean, at the end, I mean, I think she was like 83 and had gotten reelected again. So, but I will say this, she was a squared away lady, but but she got in there and she did her job, and she did try to help the people of the Rochester area. I know that she did that. So, but but they got a total line. There's the other part, their party. Like, who is it just, well, not like right now, okay? Fetterman, because he's kind of going against some of the stuff. Now they're trying to say, well, maybe he's unfit. Maybe I'm not sure if he should be in there. Why? Because he's come more center. You know, I don't know. I would like to give you a heat wave tip. If your central air is not blowing cold, 8 out of 10 channels are. It's a $20 part called a capulator. Oh, 8 out of 10 chances are. Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's the thermostat itself, Luke. It's the thermostat that's messed up. I mean, it's lit up, but it won't go on at all. So I think that got tossed. So, but but yeah, it's just if you don't toe the line, then you're out. If you try to grandstand, I guess, in both parties. Well, remember they had the squad, with the Democrats there. I think two of them got voted out. I know that AOC's still there, but and then I can't remember who the other one was, but I guess two of them got voted out of office because people don't want to. They don't want to deal with that. They want people to take care of their problems. That's what they want, and that's it. You know what I mean? They want people to take care of their concerns, their wants, their needs. So, oh, Omar, yeah, 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 that's the other one. Okay, so here's a question. All right, let's go with Omar for a moment. The different stuff that she has done that they can prove, right? Like saying her brother was her husband or her father. No, I think it was her father was her husband. And all that other stuff. You know, and shit, and yet she's still in office. I don't get it. So watch YouTube videos and you can fix your own AC. All right, I'll look into it. But yeah, it just that whole thing is just I don't know. You come over. See, this is what one of the things that I don't get. Okay, you want to get out of your country because your country is so horrible. So then you come here and you want us to assimilate to you And so you can turn our country into the same crap that you had over there. That's what I don't get. That's what I don't understand. And that happens a lot. These people come over here and they want to change. They want us to change for them. Yeah, she's from Minnesota. And that whole area that she's in is a whole big, huge Muslim community. So she's not going anywhere. Yeah, you can't fix stupid even with duct tape. Yeah, right. I don't know, like I said, just I watch this stuff and I'm amazed half the time that people just feed into it, you know. I just like I said, I just don't get it. I don't get it. And there's people on the right as well, doing crazy stuff as well, but not as much as the left. Sorry, gotta say it. They just someone just got assassinated in Iran. No, get down, get off there. Come here, come here. Well, don't fight me. Come on, down you go. It's the wire. They always want to play with the wires. Anyway, what are you talking about, Tom Reed? I have no idea what you're talking about. Who was assassinated? Yeah, Nancy voted the number one hedge fund person. She's done very well. She's better than Wall Street. Well, there was those group of guys that started doing the same trades that she did and making the, these outrageous returns. So, yeah, nothing like a little insider information, allegedly. You know, she just is really a good investor. That's what it must be. Timothy says, as a barber, he dyes people's hair without consent. That's funny. Oh, Maxine Waters. Oh, my God. Yeah, there's another one. Yeah, she's out there, too. Way, way out there. What do we got? 226 in the chat. We got 105 thumbs up, guys. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that ahead of time, and thank you very much. Also, it makes a big difference with the algorithms, so I thank you for that reason as well. And again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notification as well. All right? So thank you very much ahead of time for that. Fun times. Fun times. Whew, man, it's just warm. Like I said, it was still 87? So at 8:30 at night, gotta love it. Gotta love it. But Edward, Hannah, first time here. Well, welcome, Edward. Great name, by the way. No Taco Bell, Larry. I didn't leave the property today. If I can stay home and not have to leave, that's what I want to do. Now, like I said, today my goal was to cut grass. So that's what I was doing today. And I probably could have got it all done. I just ran out of steam, you know. Stealth mode, welcome to beginning preppers. Well, thank you. Appreciate the support. Thank you very much. 85 here in Missouri, 91 in Chicago, still at 7:30. Wow, yeah. Yep. I'm in New York City, a socialist, Muslim, and Cuomo running against each other. Yeah, isn't that great? Cuomo. I can't even believe that he's back. I don't even get it. That's why you're so tan. I got, I don't know if you can, got a little sun. I don't use sunscreen. And if I'm cutting the grass, I generally don't have a shirt on. So, yeah, I just get the sun, and whatever it does, it does. And then I'm riding every day, too, so I'm getting sun that way. But I like riding. I was riding the other day. and I didn't even realize it. And I looked down and I was doing 85 miles an hour. I'm like, okay, time to slow down. No, I like my peace here, folks. I'll tell you what. I just I like having my animals, doing my thing, taking care of my business, and that's kind of how I like it. If I never had to leave, that would be okay. Unfortunately, you do have to leave, but But anyway, um, we're gonna have to see. It's like somebody saying somebody got assassinated. Let me see if they're given any information on that. Let me see if this thing will pop up here. Yeah, wind's blowing through my hair. That's exactly right. No, just the bike rides so smooth. Let's see. Yes, this is from USA Today 11 minutes ago. Trump says Israel and Iran agree to a complete and total ceasefire. So if that's the case, um, and how do you deal with loneliness? I'm not lonely. I'm never lonely. I got my animals. They're great company. Let me see. I'm not seeing anything about an assassination. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on any assassination over there. So if you guys see anything, just let us know in the chat. Iran said if Israel is still battling past 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, then the ceasefire is void. Oh, okay. No, it's funny. I know it's like some people, um, you know, like getting lonely or whatever. I'm okay being alone. I don't have a problem with it. Do you think Iran will follow the ceasefire? Hard to say. Hard to say. Um, it's just it's one of those situations where you know one small thing could set them back off again. Nick says, I really still think SHTF will be either a grid down or a deadly pandemic. I think it's going to be a grid down. That's my take, honestly. Um, and here's the thing: is when it happens, don't believe whatever information you're given. Oh, it's this bad actor or it's that bad actor. It could be, and I'm not saying it would be, but I'm saying it could be from within our own country. So if there is that situation, that would be, like I said, that would be bad. Like I said, the only way anybody's ever beaten the United States of America is to pull the plug, kill our power. We're too reliant on the power, and not enough people are prepared to deal with that type of a situation, and will eat each other. And I'm not talking literally eat each other, I'm talking figuratively. Meaning what? Meaning that people will lose their minds once they realize the power's off, um, and it's not coming back on, and they realize how ill prepared they are. They're going to look to take. That's what people do, or they'll feel entitled. See, there's the other thing. They'll feel entitled. Well, you have it and I don't, and that's not fair. Well, a lot of us have sacrificed a lot to get us into the position that we're in. You don't think the people that come down here once a month, drive down from different parts of the country, you don't think they sacrifice? they're sacrificing, putting in time and effort and getting things here in place and being as ready as we can be. It's just, you know, it's just one of those situations where the more ready you are, the better your chances are when the time comes. And that's how it's going to be. So, recent reports indicate the assassination of several high ranking Iranian officials, including military commanders and top nuclear scientists, in a series of Israeli strikes. Also, they more, okay. That wouldn't surprise me. I'm going to tell you what, guys. Mossad, don't mess with Mossad. Don't be on their bad list. That's what my advice would be. Do not be on Mossad's bad list because those boys do not and girls do not play. They will make you disappear. So, but again, even with our preps, we can only keep power going for about 7 days continuously, perhaps a little longer if you ration. Well, you wouldn't want to keep your power going continuously. So, yeah, you just, yeah, that, you got, if you're in a position, if the world ended as we know it, yes, I have the solar system, but that's one breakdown away from being non-usable. While we had it, we would obviously be charging up batteries, doing what we had to do that way. But yeah, you don't want to be a target. You're going to want to be when it's nighttime. You want to be blacked out. You want to either have the blackout curtains or whatever the case may be. You do not want people to realize that you have power, that you have a convenience of any point or of any kind. So, but yeah, you want to be smart about that. Hey, Hunter guy, people feel entitled to take things but don't want to share when it's their own stuff. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Thank you very much for the donation. I really appreciate that as well. But yeah, like I said, well, even so, it's talking about bacon not tasting good and stuff like that. Even with eggs, guys, the difference between farm fresh eggs and store bought eggs, it's night and day. The taste is definitely different, absolutely different. I don't care what anybody says, you can definitely tell the difference when it comes to the taste of that. So, what do we got? 263 in the chat. We're at 133 on the thumbs up, guys. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that. Again, it really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms, and I thank you for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe and hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. I attest to home-raised eggs. I have a wonderful neighbor who takes care of me on that. Oh, yeah. I mean, I will tell you right now, I know that like when these guys start really laying and all the new hens start laying, I'll be selling eggs. So I love organic meat and organic maple syrup, even honey. Locally honey, any local honey. So, what about clean drinking water during SHTF ed? Okay, so we'll talk about that's a good topic, Alex. We'll talk about that for a few minutes. Clean drinking water. In a true SHTF situation, grid down, another pandemic that has a high mortality rate, more people are going to die from dysentery than any other way. That's a fact because they're going to drink tainted water. They're going to see the water. It's going to be clear. They're thirsty. They're just going to drink it and not realize that there's parasites in that water, that it should be boiled and filtered and everything first. It's important to have several options when it comes to water filtration. I have a Berkey, okay? I also have other options as well. I have tablets. I know how to make a filtration system, and I like with my Berkey, I have backup filters as well. So that's important as well. Uh, I have a Catadine a hiking water filter, and that will do like 10,000 gallons of water. I have what do you call it? Those small ones that oh my god, I can't think of the name of them. But I have a lot of different options. Now, here's one of the key things that okay, we're gonna get back on the water in just a second. Not I don't. It's not a life straw. It's the other thing um, that you can use, and I can't think. It's really lightweight, but we'll get back to that in a second. There are parasites in our government. Yeah, you think so? Yeah, the Sawyer mini filters. That's exactly it, Sean. Thank you very much. Yes, the Sawyers. I got a bunch of those as well. So I have multiple options when the time comes. I'm not just going to rely on one thing. And I think that that's important as well. But we're going to get back to talking about that in a second because it is egg count time. So we're going to do that really quick first. Yeah, chlorine, pool shock. Like I said, we're going to get into it in a second, Edward. But yes, I got them, Village Homestead. They were supposed to come Wednesday. They came today. So I got them. They're already here. He's talking about the supers for the bees. He sent down a couple. All right. How many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Betty White. So go ahead and get your guesses in, guys, and we will go from there. Give you guys a moment. And then we'll continue to talk about water here in just a minute. Because water that's life. You don't have, I mean, there's the rule of three, right? 3 minutes without air, um, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food, and 3 hours without shelter. There's the other. I knew there was a fourth one. So there are a lot of these freaking cats. He just grabbed a bag and he had it in his mouth and he ran down and he jumped on the floor so he could play with his bag, one of the plastic bags. But all right. All right, if you had the same exact guess as Dust Devil with 4 eggs today, and yes for Miss Betty White, then you are 100% correct. So congratulations to Dust Devil. You are the winner. You've won absolutely nothing, but you are happy about it. So there we are. But yeah, it's just so anyway, going back to talking about water, pool shock, chlorine, I'm sorry, bleach. There's a lot of different ways. Breaking news: Iranian militants attacked several U.S. bases. There are casualties per reports. Okay, well, if that is the case, then wait till you see what Trump does now, because he warned him. He warned him. Now, you know, that's not good. If that's the case, we'll have to see how that all plays out. It can get real ugly real quick. Gas prices could go through the roof, which would be terrible. And we won't put boots on the ground, guys. We won't do that. We don't need to do that. We can just bomb the crap out of them, just like we did with Iraq before we ever even went in. I mean, they were just decimated, you know. So, and we've learned from them. So, we've definitely learned from them. Ah, what about the military draft? Hard to say. Some of these people you wouldn't want to have them in the military. To be honest with you, cyber warfare. Well, there you go. That could cause a grid down situation as well. There's a lot of things that can happen. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen. But like I said, the best thing that we can do, individually as people is just, again, we can't control any of those things. If we have a draft men only, not taking my daughter. I hear that. No, I hear that. Well, they would start out with the 18 and 19-year-olds, and then depending on how bad things got, then they would take the older ones after that. But Didn't some water systems in the U.S. get hacked recently? Yeah, they did. Yep, I saw that too. I mean, you look at, okay, I'll give you a good example. We'll go with Rochester, New York. They have a huge reservoir of water that's used for the city's drinking water. It's got a fence around it. I don't know if they have cameras or whatever, but it really wouldn't be that difficult to poison something like that. It really wouldn't be. If you had a determined individual that was looking to try to get a huge body count, that would be one way that they could do it. I don't think women should be drafted. No, I don't at all either, DJ. I don't either. War's bad enough on men, you know. But anyway, being able to have fresh drinking water again is going to be hugely important. Um, People shouldn't be drafted. Well, yeah. There's always that rogue actor, lone wolf that can cause havoc. There is, and they do, and they do. You know, it's just we have a lot of. So here's another thing we'll talk about with this whole thing. And if a true SHTF, you got the water issue, have multiple ways of being able to filter and clean water. Worst case scenario, you take a T-shirt, right? Filter the water into. They should be allowed to volunteer, but not drafted. Well, I mean, yeah, and I get you on that. I understand that. I mean, I volunteered. A lot of people I know volunteered. That's why we went, you know, in the military. So it's been an all volunteer military for quite a while. And I know their numbers are up, you know, recruitment wise. So I think if there became an issue, I don't think that they would do a draft unless they absolutely had to. And then even then, if you think the 60s were bad with draft dodging, I think today would even be worse. The patriotism is not there for a lot of people anymore. So, and I don't think people would listen anyways. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, again, we can speculate. We can, you know, what if this, what if that, what if the other thing. But, you know, a lot of things can happen. If you are thinking of your families and taking care of them, having food, water, shelter, medical supplies, lighting, you know, think of, this is the way I look at it. And when I got into prepping and when I got the first homestead, I involved my children a lot. Okay. I wanted their input because it was important to me to get their input. And I think I've told this story. So we got through our first winter, and I asked them. I said, "What can I do to make your lives better here this year?" And it was a unanimous more power. They wanted more power, which I understood that. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'll go back to that, Nick. So you take your shirt, you filter the water through the shirt. Okay. That'll get your bigger particles out. Then you boil that water, and that's better than, you know, if it's clear, you want to make sure it's clear, right? Boil it to a rolling boil and do that. And then that way, that should be okay to drink at that point. But again, even if I would filter everything anyway, just to be on the safe side. Do EMP shield bags work? I have no idea, Marcia. No idea. I'm not going to say they do, and I'm not going to say they don't. I have no idea. But anyway, it's important to prepare for if it's a worst case scenario. You want things to be as comfortable as possible, as normal as possible. So to me, being able to take a shower, like when we finally got a shower in New York after a year and a half of not having a shower, that was a huge win. It was awesome. It was awesome, you know. But again, you don't appreciate stuff, people in general, Don't appreciate things until you don't have it. So we at 159. I don't think we got 41 more thumbs up to hit 200. But there's 246 watching. So, I mean, there's got to be a bunch of people on here that have not hit that thumbs up yet. I'm going to ask again real quick. We'll see how close to 200 we can get. Um, if if you have not hit that thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that. It really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithm. So I thank you for that reason as well. Again, also, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. What happened to your well? Is it working? Yeah, well's there, working. Just generally don't use it. It's a very slow well. So that's more of an emergency backup. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to set up rain catchment everywhere, because that way we will always have water on hand. And again, you know, it's like I try to explain to somebody, let's say a worst case scenario happens, right? Coffee filters are another way to, yep, for filtering water before boiling it. Yep. Yeah, very cheap as well. Actually, I think I showed you recently. That's one of the things that we stocked up on was coffee filters. I think Sandy bought like 10 packs of coffee filters. You know what, 50 or 100 in the pack. So you know that's a lot of filters, but it can be utilized, you know, for that. So that's a good thing. Our well can run over 5 gallons a minute indefinitely. Well, my well, for as much money as we put into this stupid thing, 25 gallons an hour. That's it. So not a great well. Not a great well. So it is what it is. If in hindsight, I wouldn't have dug the well at all. Wouldn't have dug the well at all. I would have invested the money into a cistern, put a cistern in the ground, and just rain catchment and fill that puppy up. And I mean, when I say a cistern, I'm talking like a 10,000 gallon cistern, you know, on top of all of our, you know, IBC totes that we have. I would have done that instead. But again, hindsight is always 2020. How do you prepare for a wound to take multiple antibiotics and amputation of, say, a toe finger, something more drastic of an amputation? My well, 300 and I think it's 325 feet, something like that. Yeah, I definitely get more from my rain catchment. Yeah. What's a cistern? Dumb question, probably. The only stupid question, Nick, is one that's not asked. A cistern is a big tank that you bury underground, and then you put water in it, and they call that a cistern. It's a storage tank underground. You put underground, and then you would have a pump. You could either do a hand pump or anything like that, if you had to get that water back out of there. But yeah, that's what you do, and then you fill it up. So you know that would be as easy as having a tote on the back of a truck. Empty out one of the totes or whatever around here, take it to the cistern and dump it in the cistern. I wish we had gone that route. But again, you know, you live and you learn. I would still like to put a cistern in here. I think that would be a good thing to do. So, but right now we got to get all these freaking totes filled up. So everybody needs to be getting their totes squared away. So we will be working on that as well. You know, like I said, we have a lot that we want to do. We have a lot that we need to accomplish. So, like I said, all of it it's time. Kind of like a deep swimming pool, sort of. Yep. Oh, you got lucky then. That's cool. That's very cool. So, what are you at? 170? Yeah, we're never hitting. I didn't think we were gonna, but that's okay. But anyway, guys, do the best you can. Think smart. Like I said, you got to think of the 3 minute rule, or the threes. 3 minutes of air, right? Three days without water, or first 3 hours without shelter. you can freeze to death in 3 hours without proper shelter. 3 days without water, and then 3 weeks without food. So I just think it's the location. I think it's the location. Isn't a cistern higher than your outlets in the house, like the top of a hill? Well, you could put it. You can put a cistern anywhere. You can put it right next to your house. You could have a cistern right next to your house. If you want to have gravity fed, then yes, a higher elevation would be better. So yeah, that's just a matter of where you want to have it. Yeah, 3 seconds without hope. Yeah, it's about right. But priority is always going to be as long as you can breathe. That's good. All right. Now you're looking at shelter. Shelter is important. You got to be able to get out of the weather. So that's important. And then water is, right there. So those are important things. And then food is the last thing. Yeah, it's going to suck after a couple of days of not eating, but you definitely, take care of what you got to take care of. Well, anyway, guys, I am going to jump off of here for now. Please be safe. Keep prepping. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know all the stuff that we were told in here. What's true, what's not true. We're going to find out, obviously. I will be live streaming on Friday. So 6 o'clock for hardcore members and 8 o'clock for everybody else on Friday. So look for me then. And keep prepping. Take care of your business, guys. I'll talk to you later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now. If I could speak, it would help.